and welcome to the first installment of my more or less frequent updating on my The Last Straw, the Battle of Kursk 1943 diorama project. Some of you might have seen the trailer of this and seen the basic conception of the diorama. And thanks in large part to a good friend of mine, Mr. Helmut Barkas, I was made aware of the fact that one of the vehicles that I had planned to use for this diorama actually is a no-go, because I had applied Zimmerit on the Panzer IV, and Zimmerit was not used at Kursk. So I basically had to reshuffle my plans and come up with a solution to a problem that was unfixable, at least with regards to using the Panzer IV that I had built. The Panzer IV I built with the Zimmerit will now be used in a different setting, most likely Italy, 1944, or Eastern Front, 1944. If at all possible, maybe I'll even use it for a French campaign, 1945, yet the problem with it already having the T-34 tracks applied kind of forces me to use it for the Eastern Front, but that's a different issue altogether. As you can see right in front of you, the Border Models Panzer IV, the one without Zimmerit, has received his space painting and camo scheme, as well as the decals. Now, I know that this the camo scheme might be a bit off. I'm not entirely sure whether or not this is actually something that the Germans would have done. Repaint a lot of the tank in dark green. I've seen some pictures and some camo schemes in some of the kits that I have, where it was heavy green with only a little bit of the dark yellow still shining through. And as you can see, I have kept the running gear and lower part of the hull, well, dark yellow, whereas I have applied a darker green from AK's real color line to the upper surfaces. Please excuse my phone going off in the background. Let me quickly grab the bottle of darker green so I can show you exactly which I went with. It's olive green, RAL 6003, and that was applied over a coat of MiG Ammo's dark yellow mid-war. So this is the base for the paint job. After that, I applied the decals using some microsol to put them in place. And once that was set, I started applying a wash. And this time I went with the MiG wash for German dark yellow ammo of MiG 1000. It's a brownish wash, and I think it even works well on the green. First I was thinking of using this for the green parts, but I think the brown wash for German dark yellow worked quite the treat on the green, so I did not have to use the other wash. I'm not 100% done with the wash. I still need to add some wash to the turret sides here, the hatches, the stowage bin, and some minor parts. After that, I am thinking of applying a dot filter, at least to some of the areas where there would be a bit more, well, weathering happening naturally and some fading to the paint, because the contrast currently is very stark, as you can see, especially when you look at this from the front. There's some quite stark contrast between the dark yellow and the green. So a filter might just tone this down a little bit. So I'm currently in the process of ordering oil paints to do some mapping there with oil paints. After that, I'm off to do some chipping on this. Of course, I still have to paint the road wheels and the side skirts. After the chipping, I will be adding some rust tones. And once that's done, I will be adding dust and mud effects with oil paints both to the running gear as well as the top half of the vehicle. And then we will be adding the tracks and all the miscellaneous parts, the rope wheels and stuff like this. The return rollers, as you can see, I kept some of them off. This one kind of did not want to go off again. And this side, put on the tracks after I have weathered them as well. And then, once that's all done, I will be painting the smaller details, like tools, spare track links, and that sort of thing. Because here's the thing, and that idea, basically, I stole from a guy on YouTube, Night Shift, Martin Kovac, who, well, made a very good point. The crews would try to keep their tools in pristine condition because those tools were basically what helped them keep their tanks running. So they would not have those tools get baked in mud. Rather trying to at least keep the tools clean so that they could maintain the tank whenever they needed to maintain the tank. So that's why I'm doing the tools after I've done the basic weathering. Of course, some of the dust I will put on. It's not possible to keep them like pristine, but at least not like baked in mud. And of course they wouldn't chip. So that's why I do this after the rust and chipping. Overall, I'm still enjoying this Border Models Panzer IV. And on the notion of replacing the other Panzer IV, I'm currently in a state of mind where I say I still have a Panzer III that is already painted and marked in Kursk operation markings from the same unit as this Panzer IV. So as it stands right now, I will be adding a Panzer IIIN to the Dio in addition to this, and just have a Panzer III and a Panzer IV on there, not two Panzer IVs. I know this is kind of a cop-out, and I could have just bought another Panzer IV to stick it on, but currently I couldn't find one at an okay price, and I didn't want to go Border Models again, although it's a nice kit, but currently they are selling for like 15 euros more than I paid when I bought this one, so I'm a bit wary there. And since I still had the Panzer III without a Dio, I thought, well, why not? And that's where we are right now. The figures are built, still need to be painted, and I'm currently thinking of adding a couple more infantry figures to Dio scene, because I think, why not? It just adds life, other than just having the two tanks there with their commanders sticking their heads out of their hedges, not hedges, hatches, talking to each other. I think having some infantry figures there as well might just add a little bit more interest to the scene. So that's where we stand right now. This was the first installment of this updating process, and I want to keep you up to date every week. On Monday or Tuesday, I will shoot a quick video about 5 to 10 minutes long, just keeping you up to date where this project is going and where we currently stand. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this type of quick update on Dio pieces. And I think maybe once or twice I will actually do a how-to during this process, and then the video will of course be longer, and I cannot promise to put those out on Mondays or Tuesdays, but they will show up infrequently in this series. I think one or two how-tos will definitely show up. Maybe I'll redo the figure painting video that I once did on the Russian figures, so I had the idea of redoing this, so that might be in the cards for this as well. Thank you guys for watching. This is Hot Modeling. The Force is with you, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.